welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kim and I am going to give you a tour of my garden this year. So, little background, and sorry, there's a lot of noise. We live on a busy street in town, so you can have a garden in town, yay! I have always wanted a garden, and we've lived here for 14 years, and we've always grown something. Garden progresses every year, you make changes, you see what grows, what you eat, what you don't like, what you don't like, and yeah, so this year my garden is in a big flux. We have typically grown things in containers. You can see kind of behind me there like that, and we still are, but we are also moving to some more garden beds as well. We've always had a few, and right now we don't have as many as I want, but we will be getting a few more in for fall planting this year. So I will give you a tour. Oh, a little quick background. We live on just under half an acre, and I do not use most of it, honestly, for our garden. I kind of put it in where it fits. We have a pretty shaded lot, obviously not right here. Where I am sitting actually used to be a huge maple tree, but then it split how many years ago? Almost 10 years ago now, in an ice storm, and so we decided that's where the garden was going to be. So yeah, let me show you what I have and explain a little bit why I do what I do. Let's start over here. This is cucumbers right now. I need to get a trellis in. We have a nice box. I do want to build up so it's a little deeper, just like that one over there. Okay, let's talk a little bit about bucket gardening. So I first started my bucket gardening journey when we didn't have a whole lot of space. See, I mean, we used to have a pool over here. You can see the round. Maybe it was here. No, it was over there. And it was just easier to have the garden more mobile. So I looked into it. You can do it. I have done it successfully, but I have not lately been able to find, I don't know, been able to do a good job of it, I guess, as much. Now these tomatoes, they look a little sad. It is the heat of the day, and I do need to water them. They got plenty of water this weekend because we got rain, but with buckets, they get hot because they're out of the ground, so they get the roots and everything get hot really easy, and you have to water them because they do not have access to groundwater and they can't branch out their roots when they need more nutrition or water. So you have to be very careful and observant in what your plants need when you're bucket gardening. So here we have tomatoes, nice row of tomatoes. They're an indeterminate variety. Some of them are going yellow. I always struggle with this with my tomatoes every year. If you know what causes it, is it a vitamin deficiency? Is it because they're too hot? Do they need more water? I do water them almost daily, especially if we don't get any rain. So yellowing leaves, just don't know. But some of them do have tomatoes on them. I think these are some beef steaks that we have going on here. This one's not, but this one is. But yeah, that's a bit of tomatoes, not all of them. I have some planted in boxes. Like I said, here are some cucumbers we need to trellis, and I might need to thin. I need to just check that out. And then another box here. Now I do crop rotation, so I don't plant the same thing in the same boxes every year. And I need to work on not planting the same things in the same families every year, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Again, I have some yellowing leaves in here. It's, I guess, kind of hard to see, and I don't know what's causing them. I don't know what they need. This one might need some fertilizer. Definitely need to water them tonight. Like I said, we got rain. See, yellowing leaves. We got rain this weekend, so I didn't water this weekend. One thing that does really well in the pots or in the buckets. And peppers do very, very well in buckets. They like it hotter, and yeah, they do an amazing job. So I normally have a huge variety of peppers. This year, the only peppers I think we're gonna have are jalapenos and some of those mini sweet peppers, the kinds that look like jalapenos, you know, like kind of that tubular, but they're sweet ones. So I planted some other ones, but they didn't make it. I didn't do a great job hardening them off. Most of my plants this year I did start from seed, which I had never done before, so it's a success already. This one is a sweet lemon, and or sweet banana. Sweet banana. I did buy this one at the store. I want to try canning my own pickled sweet banana peppers. Here's buckets of peppers that didn't make it because I didn't harden them off very good. Here are some of our little cherry tomatoes. So they're not over with the others right now because they are not staked very well. I have the stakes in there, but I need to string them up as well. So one thing I love is zucchini, and I have issues with vine borers, and I have had them for years. It's just a journey. So this I am trying. It's a zucchini plant. It's a one for pots. It's not one that's going to sprawl all over the place. And so I'm trying it in the bucket to see how that works, and I'm monitoring it for vine borers. We will see how it goes. One thing that I have had success with zucchini is planting it after the 4th of July. So up here in zone 4, if the vine borers only have one egg and hatch cycle. If you live in southern states, they have 2. So up in zone B here, not zone B, zone 4, oh my goodness. In zone 4, if you plant after the 4th of July, the vine borers have already laid their eggs, and they should not bother your plants. I had success with that last year. I also got a tip from a video on, I don't remember what video it was, but someone said that if you put wood ash around your zucchini plants, the vine borers don't like that. So I am going to try that as well. We have a fire pit, and we burn lots of our sticks and stuff, and I'm going to try putting wood ash. Okay, so here's some more cucumbers. Let me tell you about the cucumbers in the pots. I transplanted them when I thinned these over here. And my dad told me, he's a wonderful gardener, and he said cucumbers don't transplant well, and they do not. Dad, I agree with you, they don't. But I had to try anyway, and it looks like 3 might make it. I tried 5. 2 died pretty quickly. These are hanging on a little bit, so we'll see. I mean, they're not hanging on great, but we'll see. So this is another kind of cucumber here. We really love cucumbers. If you've watched my grocery hauls, we eat a lot of cucumbers, and I want to start growing a lot more of ours. I haven't had a lot of success with cucumbers. They obviously don't transplant well. And then some years the seeds don't come up and all of that. But this year lots of seeds came up. I thinned them. We have them trellising. I think they're starting to climb. This one just doesn't want to. But let me tell you about these. So when I was going to come in here and work on them before they were too big, I was going to thin them and then trellis them. They weren't doing amazing. They were kind of looking a little sickly. And I saw some little beetles on them that were yellow and black striped. So I looked it up, and they were called cucumber beetles. Seems like I am going to always have pests in my garden. But as my husband reminds me, that's part of gardening. Just like fishing isn't called catching, this isn't called harvesting. It's gardening. So anyway, with the cucumbers, so I looked up what to do, and I'm trying to garden chemical free, and I even don't like the use of, and I haven't used a lot of neem oil sprays in my garden, even though they're more natural, but they kill a lot of stuff, even good stuff. So I sprinkled them when they were little with diatomaceous earth, and then around the roots. And as long as it doesn't rain or you don't have to water it, diatomaceous earth is fine. You should reapply it with each watering or rain you get. And so I killed 3 of the cucumber beetles, and then I sprinkled diatomaceous earth on them, and they look so much better. So much better. So I'm going to keep monitoring for the cucumber beetles, and I might give them another dose of diatomaceous earth before the blossoms, before they start to bloom. So diatomaceous earth is a mechanical, it kind of cuts up the bugs pretty much. As far as I know, it repels them by mechanical means versus chemical means. It's good for the soil, full of silica and other nutrients. But I don't like to use it once the plants are flowering, because it'll also cut up the bees and pollinators. So I like to get those things under control before they start to bloom. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to show you, there's just another tomato there I need to stake up. It's our compost pile. We need to turn that. Okay, so here are my potatoes. These are my potatoes I'm growing in some bags here. Trying them. I started them down low, and then as they grew, I just filled it in with this compost manure mixture. They're looking a little dry. I'm going to water them. Again, we got rain this weekend, so they're not too bad. But I'm just going to see how these do. We eat a lot of potatoes, and I want to grow what we eat. So we're going to see. I also have a friend who she didn't get all her potatoes planted, and it is late. It's very late for planting potatoes, but I'm going to try a couple more little grow towers and see. If anything, we'll get some of those baby potatoes that cost so much money in the store. Okay, farther down here, this is my raspberry patch. I want to do better about taking care of it. Ooh. But I did trim these. Oh no. Well, I guess that one's for the birds. Darn it. Okay, I did trim. There we go. Trim these back a good bit this spring, and even pull some out. We have a lot of raspberries that are on their way, but then, then we have to get them. So I want to try caning them, tying them up and taking a little bit better care of them. But for now, this is what they are. Just as, just kind of a practice in gardening. Let's go through here. Yes, the yard's a mess. It is a working yard. I'm gonna go through the clothesline here to the other part of the yard. Okay, over here is another garden bed we have, and I have tomatoes in this one as well. We eat a lot of tomatoes. I like to make salsa. I like to make bruschetta. We eat a lot of tomatoes with our meals, and like I said, I like to plant and grow what we eat. So tomatoes are a big one. These are looking pretty good now. I am really happy with how these have established themselves, and they're doing good. I don't see a lot of yellowing leaves yet. And yeah, I'm just going to keep an eye on this bed and see how it goes. We also have varying flowers. Some didn't grow, some did grow. Very happy about that. I am learning about companion plants. A lot about that, and how they just are so beneficial when you grow certain plants together. And so I did try to grow some basil in this bed, but I think my seeds were bad. They were old, and I didn't get anything. that I know that looked like what I think basil looks like in the areas that I planted seeds. So I'm going to try next year. I know that I want to plant dill with my cucumbers. I did try a row of dill. We'll see. I don't think it's coming up. Again, my companion plants didn't do great this year. Marigolds are great for the garden. So basil with tomatoes and dill. Lots of fragrant herbs are good with your garden. It helps get the pests away because they don't like those good smelling fragrant herbs. Okay, I do want to show you one of my newest endeavors here. Apple trees. Now these are not going to grow up to be giant apple trees. They are going to be, they're called urban apple trees. So they're going to grow up to be 8 to 10 feet tall, but only a span of like 3 to 4 feet. So they're going to grow in a column of sorts. And I am so excited. You can grow them in pots. Yes, I probably will. I know I will have to get bigger pots for them, but I just put them in what I could get this year, and I might plant them in the ground depending on landscaping and stuff, but right now it's okay. It's okay. I got this crabapple stick tree at Aldi. I don't know if it's alive. I'm not seeing many signs of life, but I got it, and we'll see what happens. So, yeah, it wasn't that expensive, so if it lives, it lives, and if it doesn't, we'll try again. That's kind of my motto with gardening. Okay, so that was my garden. Now, I wanted to show you not as, my garden's so beautiful and all of that. I wanted to show you what you can do, and that gardening in a city lot doesn't have to be difficult. You can do a lot. You can grow a lot of stuff. It just takes a little bit more work, I would say. If you're going to grow things in containers, you have to monitor the nutrition level and the water a little bit more than if they were in the ground. And also just give it a try. If you're scared or you've wanted to do it but you just haven't, like, just plant something. You know, that's what I started doing, and I saw things that grew and things that didn't, and then also what we ate and what we didn't. I used to grow snap peas all the time, and I still do occasionally. I didn't this year, but that's because my family doesn't eat them a whole lot. My husband will, one of my daughters will, but overall as a family, we don't eat a lot of snap peas. So I don't plant them every year. I do throw peas and beans into the rotation sometimes, especially when the ground needs it. They need the nitrogen put back in. So I think in the fall or in the spring I'll be planting some of those to boost the nutrition of the soil for the plants. So I just wanted to share my garden with you. Hope that you are having a wonderful day, and I hope this inspired you to maybe try to plant something. Have a wonderful day. Consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.